Hello and welcome back to Make It Yappen. Hello. I'm Bethany and this is Shan.
Hiya.
Hiya. Hiya. What's your advice for the week?
So my advice for the week is on topic.
Oh.
It is the way you treat others reflects who you are. So if you treat people poorly, don't be surprised when other people form a really poor opinion of you.
That's fair enough. I mean, you can't go around treating people like shit and then
expect people to think that you're a great person.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not.
It don't work like that.
And what's your advice for the week, darling?
My advice for the week is not on topic.
Fair.
As always. My advice for the week is, if you ever get pulled for speeding, just say that you were listening to Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd and they'll let you off. Totally understandable. I would let me off for speeding.
Yeah, fair.
It's a totally understandable thing. You're telling me you're flooring it.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing 18 or 30 when that kicks in.
Yeah, you get carried away.
You're getting carried away. You're knocking kids over.
Wow.
A dog goes flying.
Wow.
But it's allowed because Freebird.
Yeah, okay. All right. Swiftly moving on. Should we just get into the episode?
I think we should. So today, I would like to get back into, for the second time, I want to say the Mosque. It's not a mosque, but you might know it as the Mosque in Dalton.
The South Lakes Islamic Prayer Centre, basically.
Or the Masjid.
Yes.
Is what it's actually called. Me and Sian did actually record an episode and fully edited it.
Yeah, we did.
For God knows how many hours. I say the other day, but it was a couple of weeks ago now.
Yeah.
We did like a full recording, we thought we had it, and then we listened to it back, and even after the editing we were like, we can do this
Better.
And we really want to, I was about to say, we want to lock in. We want to lock in on...
We want to do it justice because there is a lot of area to cover here.
Yeah. And since, I think since that second protest has occurred, because basically when we release this, I think it'll be just before the third protest.
Yeah.
On the 16th of August. So we'll be releasing it on the... I think it'll be the 14th of August when this comes out.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like since that second protest, tensions have indeed built within the community, and I think it would be really good to just have this episode as a place where you can listen to it and maybe try and gather as much information in a succinct place. There is a lot of misinformation flying about.
A hell of a lot.
And basically I think what me and Shan are trying to achieve is an episode or a place digitally where you can listen to it and hopefully know that where the information has come from, because we've really done our homework on this.
We've done a hell of a lot of homework. It is all sourced. So, you know, we're not coming from complete bias or anything like that. We've done a lot of research.
You can argue that obviously the opinions that we hold, I guess, are biased. They're from a certain point of view, even to begin with. But considering the amount of research we've now done, everything that we say, everything that we're about to discuss is completely proven. Yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
And you can find it on the internet. And I'm not talking about like in shit rags.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm meaning on like government sources and
actual studies,
council websites, like basically like where you can account for the information properly.
Yeah.
We've tried so hard to keep it from non-biased sources.
Yeah, completely impartial and factual sources.
So yeah, I want to get into it. So the Masjid, which is what it's called. I didn't even know that, because the thing is that it's flying about that it's called a mosque. It's also called South Lakes Islamic Centre.
Yeah.
But I think the official name is the Masjid. It's for the local Muslim community, which has been a part of this community and present for well over 40 years.
Yeah.
The Muslim community around here contributes to the local economy and not just the NHS, although like loads of people work there. There are engineers, business people, you know, like, there's shop workers, like, there's plenty of people.
There's dozens upon dozens of people that are working in industries that, you know, like every other local person works in.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about, you know, people that have just arrived here, if you will.
Yes.
These are people that have lived and worked here for 4 decades.
Yeah. There are well over 100 families in the area that potentially will make use of this building. And I think it's important that when we are discussing this and we're having this conversation, that you were remembering that, like, these are
local people.
These are people. These are your neighbours in this area. These are my neighbours, actually, because I feel as well that I have some clout to actually speak on the issue because I am a local from Dalton. I live in the area. I have done my entire life. With the exception, I took like 5 years out to live in Leeds, but my parents still live there, and I live with my parents, and I live there. Like, I have been a Dalton local for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So I do feel like compelled and almost that it's my kind of responsibility to have a conversation about this, because it does affect me as a resident.
Yeah, I think you know, there's been a lot of conversation about different aspects of the mosque and people becoming very angry about different aspects. So we're going to go through those various different aspects, and we're starting out with how it was funded, because there's been a lot of misinformation around that as well.
Yeah. So it's funded by the South Lakes Islamic Centre, is the masjid.
Yeah. And
those, like, that funding has come from local, national and international Muslims.
Yeah.
Like, the international Muslim community. And it's all through voluntary donations from individuals and businesses. So no shady work, no, like, I don't know how I can...
It's not taxpayers' money.
No, it's not taxpayers' money.
There's no public funds going into it at all. It's all been personal donations made by people.
Which is quite incredible. And I think when we looked last, I think it was 437,000 that they've raised.
Yeah, it was 400,000, wasn't it?
Yeah. We'll also be providing a link if you personally want to donate to the centre and for it to be built and stuff. I know Shan will, like, that is what we're kind of aiming to do as well, to spread sort of awareness about how this has come about. So yeah, no public funds have been used for the construction, and their accounts are actually externally audited.
Yeah, so that's not even something that you can argue. You can look through their accounts because it's in the public domain.
Yeah, exactly. All this information, by the way, a lot of the information that we have found, like, you can get from their website, you can get from other sources, like, this is where we found it.
Yeah.
So I also want to talk about location has been a very
sensitive issue,
yeah. So I kind of want to dive into how and why maybe it's been chosen to be there. So for starters, it's about 50 metres away from the nearest homes.
Yeah.
Which is why planning permission has probably gone ahead, because the planning officer has said that this is enough distance to build without compromising privacy or noise to neighbours.
Yeah.
It will provide 17 parking spaces, and it's 3 storeys high. It's just, I think it's on Ulverston Road, is the road.
It is.
Just outside of Dalton, near Charnley's.
Yeah.
And a couple of other businesses that I know that are up there, and it's also near Our Lady's School. Not that should be relevant in any which way at all. It's a religious building near a school. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And if the planning approval's gone through, then there's clearly no issue in terms of a regs problem.
Yeah.
I also want to mention as well, on the topic of Charnley's, that they've increased their car parking due to their, like, continued popularity. There's been no protests surrounding the increased traffic and access issues there, like there has been.
No one raised an issue with the location when it came to that.
Yeah. So clearly, to me, or at least the way that I view it, I understand that it's a busy road and I understand that it can cause congestion. But the whole point of that road, and I think it has been for a while, is that the council has been trying to slow traffic down because there's a school there.
Yeah.
In some ways, by having the masjid there and having another place where cars can pull out of, it will encourage people to slow down as they're coming along that road.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about congestion, but to be honest, like, a lot of places in Dalton are congested.
That's kind of the nature of Dalton.
Yeah.
It's small, the streets are narrow.
Yeah.
Because of what it was originally built for, and it was just like a market town.
Yeah, it was.
So it's all very narrow. Parking's a nightmare literally everywhere in Dalton.
Yeah. And it's not as if, say for example, that if all those 17 car parking spaces are taken up, like, it's not as if there isn't extra parking along there. I mean, I know when there's like rugby games and stuff, people just park alongside the street.
Yeah.
Whether they should or they shouldn't, they do.
Yeah.
And the road
This is going to be no different.
The road's pretty wide enough that you can do that. And yeah, so you've got to slow down as you're coming in and out of Dalton.
But you do anyway.
Because, I mean, when I go towards work and stuff and I'm driving to work and I'm driving up the hill and Our Lady's on the left, loads of parents park along there, rightly or wrongly, to drop the kids off.
Yeah.
And you've got to go slowly. And I think that's why they've even put, I think, a new 20 mile per hour limit.
Well, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
When the schools are in and when the lights flash, you've got to go 20 rather than 30.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Because it does get congested, but I don't see the mosque or the masjid adding to that in particular. I think it will just be what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's going to cause massive traffic issues.
No.
Because if Charlie's isn't, and they've had an extension on their car parking, why the heck with the masjid?
Yeah, it's exactly the same situation.
Just another turning point in which you've got to slow down for.
Yeah.
Like, and just be vigilant when you're driving. It's just one of those.
Yeah. The next point we wanted to make was there's been a lot of commentary about the fact that the building itself won't be in keeping with the local area, and that's infuriating quite a lot of people. So the thing is, there's a reason that this building has passed planning permission.
Yeah.
Because it meets the regulation that is specifically for Dalton. So, you know, your idea of an eyesore, whatever people are calling it, that's very, very subjective. And actually, if you had a look at what that mosque is going to look like, I think it's quite a lovely building, actually.
I think it is a lovely building. I think it's something different, and
yeah, I think it's quite lovely to look at. Honestly, I do.
I don't think it's an eyesore. Obviously, like, it's very easy to say when things are in like the construction period of like, oh, it's an eyesore. Well, obviously, it's not bloody built yet.
Well, yeah, it's a planning. It's a building site.
It's a building site. Literally, it's a building site.
It's a literal building site. So obviously, it's gonna look.
It's not gonna look great right now.
No, but it will when it's done.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think that like a big point to make about it is that, there's been a lot of talk about how, you know, that's going to, the way that it looks and just the nature of the building, how that's going to affect the local area. And there's been lots of different points made about this. About how it's going to affect local people and basically upset way of life. But what's been like deeply disappointing is there's been quite a lot of comments about, so obviously local businesses have been involved in building this building.
Some local businesses,
yeah.
I just want to, on that point, just say a lot of local businesses haven't worked with this project for fear of backlash. And
yeah.
I understand why, but it's disappointing in the sense of that they've not stuck their neck out, and it's also disappointing from a local perspective that businesses around here feel like they can't do that for fear of being shunned.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah.
Those businesses are there solely to do jobs.
Yeah. And
they're terrified of doing what the purpose of their company is.
Yeah.
Because of local backlash. That's insane. There was one particular comment that we pulled out that was a public comment written online, and somebody said that a local company should be run out of business from this town. Every tradesman should close their account with them until they are gone. I mean, I'm actually speechless with that.
There's a certain level of irony, isn't there, that we're saying, or I say we, that some people are saying about how this...
It's going to have a negative impact on the local area.
Yeah, this mosque is going to have a negative impact on the local area. and in the same breath we are asking for the...
To shut down local businesses that have been involved with it. How's that not affecting the local area?
Yeah.
How are you not affecting local business by condoning that?
And local people who have jobs.
Yeah.
With these businesses.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that fair? Like...
what
about protecting the interests of your own? All of a sudden it seems to be, you know...
Yeah.
That goes out the window when it doesn't fit your agenda.
Yeah. 100%.
I just want to say as well that when me and Shanna were reading some of these comments, because we've got quite a few that we've pulled out, they are all from the same place. They are all online. You can find them.
Yeah.
And they're not that difficult to find.
No.
And
they are very, very public.
And they are all posted by people local to this area.
Yeah.
So I just want to stress that before anyone kind of says, oh, well...
You're sensationalising. No, we're not.
No,
actually,
we're not. Like, these are comments made by real people about this particular project.
And these people are from around here.
Yeah. So I just want you to bear that in mind when we are talking about this. So somebody from our local area has turned around and said that a local business should be defunded because...
And run out of town.
And run out of town because they have chosen to participate in this project.
In just doing what the purpose of the company is, building something.
Yeah. Bearing in mind they've not done anything wrong, they've not done anything illegal, like...
Nope.
Just
been quoted for a job and they've done the job, that's it.
That's it.
That's all they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on, there was also sort of speculation about how big this is going to be. In the news, we have heard time and time again that this will be a mega mosque.
Oh, God.
A mega mosque, right?
Yeah.
Can
we just say how big it actually is?
Yes. So it's 93 foot by 33 foot. Sounds like a lot. I know, we're panicking. We're in the 90s in terms of feet. But that can accommodate 60 people. So we're talking the size of a small church.
It's not really a mega mosque then, is it?
No. As someone... Oh, actually, there's two people who have both lived in Leeds and both live next to mosques.
Yeah.
That isn't a mega mosque.
It's very small.
It's very, very small.
Yeah.
Not that it should matter, but I think because we're seeing it in the news all the time about this mega mosque ruining the Lake District, I kind of want to really hammer home the point that it's not a mosque, and also because it doesn't even look like a mosque to me. Like,
no,
as someone who's actually like lived next to mosques and seen it and seen like people go call to prayer and that sort of thing, like,
and they are beautiful buildings, they are very, very large buildings.
They're very large buildings, and they're different. And I wouldn't say that like this building that's being built resembles what I've seen before.
No.
And also, I wouldn't say that you can fit lots. I wouldn't say 60 people's a lot of people.
No, I don't think 60 people's a lot of people.
Like,
at all.
Yeah. So,
I've had parties bigger than that, mate.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I've had parties bigger than that.
Yeah, my wedding was double the size of that.
Actually, when you put it like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's
so it's hysteria over a gathering of 60 people. In
fact, actually,
crazy.
On that subject, how many people were at your actual wedding?
Your actual wedding?
When you got, like, when...
I think I invited 80.
So there was more people...
Invited to my wedding.
Invited to your wedding than can fit in this masjid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, that kind of puts it in perspective because, like, it didn't feel like there were 80 people there.
Nope.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure we've all been at gatherings where there's been 60 of you and it's not felt like 60. I mean, obviously it depends on the building, but this building isn't particularly, I would say...
It's not huge.
Relatively huge.
It's not. It really isn't. It's the size of a small church. It actually is.
So, it's not a mega mosque.
By no means.
Whichever way you slice it. You can keep saying mega mosque, but, like, I would say 60's mega.
This is like the mega pint.
Yeah, it is. It's like the mega pint.
So, right. So the reason that there is a need for, the masjid, right, is because the nearest mosques are in Lancaster and Preston. So the nearest mosque is like, what, 50 miles? Is it 50 miles?
It's 50 miles, yeah.
50 miles away. So if you think of it in terms of a church, you get sort of funeral services, you get youth groups. There's lots of
charity.
Yeah, community events, charity events that you get at churches. That's exactly what the masjid is.
Yeah.
It's doing the same services. Yeah. So I think we have a list of services there, don't we?
Yeah, so we pulled this from their website. So what they're wanting to provide are educational services, funeral support, social functions, charity events and services, which I said to Shan before, how cool would it be that, like, when you were younger, do you remember when you were younger and your parents were dead poor and you had to have, like, your birthday down the drill hole and you get your parents' mate Dodgy Dave on the DJ decks?
Oh, yeah. Like, you do it at the cricket club or something like that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I just love the idea, or, you know, like, the potential of some kids having, like, a birthday party up at the masjid.
Yeah, because it'll be, like, well nice inside.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, class.
So... yeah.
So obviously with those things, with those services being 50 miles away for local Muslims, especially like the funeral support stuff.
Yeah.
That's a crazy amount of way that you have to travel just to sort out the funeral of a loved one. Yeah,
you're already grieving, and then you've got to travel 50 miles in order to like get everything in order. You don't want to be doing that when you're from the local area. You deserve to have those services like available to you. Yeah,
of course you do.
You
know, and because we do have a thriving Muslim community here, it should be there for them, sort of readily available. Yeah. Make their lives a little bit easier.
That's it.
You know, they have somewhere to go.
Exactly. For
events and all those kinds of things that they want to do.
And connection and community.
It's a community centre. Like at the end of the day, you know, you can put all the hysteria that you want into it and saying that, well, they're going to teach people this and teach people that and they're going to inflict this and inflict that. No. Take a breath. This is a community centre.
Yeah.
For people of a faith that want to spend time together.
Yeah.
And that is genuinely all it is.
Yeah.
It's, at the end of the day, it's for Muslims to practice their faith.
Yeah.
So that, you know, they'll pray, but then they'll also have like community building activities and then space for like educational stuff and charitable initiatives that they do for their community, and then they can teach people about their culture if people want to learn that.
I mean,
it's not being forced on you.
Although I think sometimes it should be.
Well, yeah. It might get rid of some of the ignorance flying around, but there we go.
But I think it's also important to bring it back that it isn't just for Muslims. This is a building that's open to people of all faiths. So that means me, you.
And they've made that very clear that you're more than welcome to go and have a conversation. Learn about a culture that's not your culture. You know, it might actually make you a more well-rounded person to understand a culture that isn't yours.
I mean, you say it's not our culture, but I think it is.
Oh, it is part of British culture, undeniably.
Undeniably part of British culture. It's a different part of British culture that you may not
have been part
of, that you may not have been exposed to.
Yeah.
And I understand why. I mean, I understand this area is predominantly not that way inclined.
Yeah. And I mean, the masjid has like openly said that they are like they'll be doing like educational workshops on like Islamic history and the culture, the language.
Yeah.
So you can just go and learn about those things. This isn't being forced on you. That is an optional thing that you might want to do.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And if you're curious and you're not sure about it, but you want to learn, then I thoroughly recommend it. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Why the hell not?
They're a welcoming people.
So, yeah, I think it's a really nice thing for the community, or a potentially really nice thing for the community, if the community would just embrace it. Instead of saying stuff like, oh, well, they wouldn't let us build churches in Muslim countries.
God.
Would they not, eh?
Except they do.
Except they do.
Except they do. And I think we have actual stats on this as well.
We do. So currently in the UK, there are 40,000 churches.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind as well, that's after probably like, I know that at least in this local area, a lot of churches have shut down.
Yeah.
I think mainly because people just aren't...
They don't really go.
They don't go. Not like they used to.
No.
There is only 1,500 mosques in the UK total.
Yeah. So I think that really does negate the argument, oh, they're taking over.
They've got a while to go yet.
They're not.
No. And I think also with that argument, if you were so concerned about your local churches, go.
Attend them.
Attend them and pay tithe. You know, like, I don't know what else I can sort of say, like, and also on the topic of they don't let, you know...
Oh yeah, like, why are we letting mosques be built here when in a Muslim country they wouldn't allow a church to be built? They do.
They do. So we looked at Egypt, for example, a predominantly Muslim country.
Yep.
There are 3,500 Christian churches in Egypt.
So there's more churches in Egypt than there are mosques here.
And I understand, before you start, Egypt's a bigger country, but we're not talking about that.
That's not
the point. There's still churches there, because the thing is that there's Christians who live in predominantly Muslim countries, there's Muslims who live in predominantly Christian countries. There are, I don't know, plenty of religious people who live in France, and religion is just sort of not really talked about, but, you know, there's different people of different faiths everywhere, and there are different religious buildings in different countries.
Yeah.
There may be more, there may be less. That doesn't mean that, like, Muslims aren't welcome here, because we were a predominantly Christian country.
Yeah. And
we're built on Christian values. I think it's also important to highlight the fact that, because I think Muslims, the argument against Muslims and the argument against immigrants gets mixed up so much. Say, for example, it is Muslim immigrants that are coming here and are worshipping, you know, like a being part of Islam. Oh, God, I've fucked that up.
Sorry.
Say, for example, it is migrants that are coming here who are Muslim and are worshipping here and are having an influence on the amount of mosques that are being built here. You can't expect, like, the UK can't expect to have colonised half the bloody world and shout about how good it is in the UK, you know, and how amazing it is and how bloody wonderful we are, and not expect that some people will want to come here and live here because of how good it apparently is. Yeah.
You also can't expect to be a country that has, again, colonised half of the world. Oh, and that's okay for us to do, but having immigrants here and having their own sort of spaces that they can live and reside in and meet in is wrong.
Yeah.
It is not one rule for us and one rule for everybody else. I'm sorry, that's not the way the world works.
We're not better than other people simply because we're from the UK and we're white. Like, it doesn't make me better than anybody else at all.
I just want to remind you that if that is a viewpoint, that is a fascist point of view.
Yeah.
That is Nazism.
In the modern day, yeah.
And that is terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It's not headspace that I could ever get into.
No.
Personally. I'd never think that I was better than somebody because of the God or not God that I do or don't worship.
Yeah.
And also because of the colour of my skin, which is a lot of the time what some of these arguments come down to.
A lot of these arguments are based in that, yeah.
So, going back to the planning, because we've touched on it, but me and Sharon really wanted to get into the timeline of stuff and tried to put together like a cohesive, I guess timeline of how this happened.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of misinformation flying around about, like, were the people of Dalton consulted? Barrow Town Council said that they didn't want a mosque and so they plonked it in Dalton, and that's...
been a lot of talk of, like, backhanders and stuff like that. Actually,
yeah,
it simply isn't true.
Yeah.
And we'll prove it to you.
We've got a comment here that, again, was said by somebody local and is online and you can find it, saying that planning was pushed through. It seemed very secretive, went from a single storey to 3-storey with a roof garden. There is a very tiny Muslim population here. Many locals opposed the plans, but Barrow Council passed them anyway. Now concerned residents are being branded racist by their own MP. Parking is dreadful there, and it's on a bend on the hill. There is a school just down across the road. Lots of things that have rolled into a protest.
Okay.
So...
there's a few things to pick apart there.
Yeah.
So...
I think just on the off...
yeah.
There were a few public meetings at the planning stage, I just want to emphasise that. I didn't attend them, but I know people who have.
Yes.
So,
there were consultations.
There were consultations. From our research and what we've done, there was no formal application submitted for planning permission in Barrow. So local reports indicate multiple proposed sites were not approved or supported by the council, but that doesn't mean that it was rejected because the people of Barrow didn't want a mosque. It looks like it was more to do with that there was no suitable sites available in Barrow and that planning permission wasn't approved. So there's no planning refusal letter attached to Barrow by the looks of things. It just didn't go ahead because the sites themselves weren't suitable, but the one in Dalton was. So it wasn't that the mosque was shoved into Dalton, it was more that the site was the most appropriate for the use.
Yeah, exactly that. Right, so, I mean, we know that there's been, obviously, strong feelings about it, and that there have been objections. And obviously a lot of people do feel like, you know, the masjid was pushed into Dalton instead of Barrow, but legally speaking, because there wasn't a rejection, it was simply just a case of that is the site, the Dalton site was the most appropriate, and therefore it's ticked the planning boxes. That's why it's gone ahead, because it was appropriate to approve the planning permission there.
Yeah.
That's it.
And back to like
There's no conspiracy theory.
No. I mean, we've seen people throwing around claims about like brown envelopes and backhanders.
Yeah.
But there is literally no evidence of anything like that.
And I know people turn around and go, oh, well, there wouldn't be evidence of a brown envelope. Right. But there's literally everything that any building that goes ahead with planning permission has to complete quite a sort of lengthy, extensive
process. And it's very boring.
It is very boring. The masjid has had to go through all of that.
Yeah.
If there were brown envelopes involved, none of that would have been done.
No, that's it. If anyone had really paid like somebody off, it'd be a serious criminal offence, obviously. Mm-hmm. And we've not even seen like a hint of a formal complaint or an investigation. So it's a big claim and absolutely zero receipts.
Yeah.
So unless someone's got CCTV of a literal brown envelope changing hands behind Dalton Town Hall, we're calling this what it is, which is pure speculation. Planning is boring and bureaucratic, not an episode of Line of Duty.
I mean, I wish it was. It would have made the research a bit better, but do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, yeah, it would.
It was dry, but it's all there.
It is, yeah, that is literally it. It's the fact that there wasn't sites that were suitable in Barrow. The Dalton one was suitable.
Yeah.
So we'll talk you through the timeline.
Yeah.
In 2021, the land was acquired, so it was bought, and outline planning permission was granted, which is why it might have been put forward that it looked different at first, and that was granted.
All buildings usually do look different at first.
They do.
All of them.
That's it. So the outline planning permission was granted, and design for planning permission was also submitted that year. And then in 2022, which is probably when it started to look different, full planning permission was granted.
Yeah.
So in the sense of like the building that you see now that is being constructed, that has been approved.
Yeah.
In 2023, they submitted pre-commencement conditions. 2024, detailed specifications were completed. Highway works planning was signed off. Yeah. And this year, they've completed the highway work and broke ground. First foundations have been laid.
Yeah. And now they're working on it.
Yeah. I don't see how there's anything dodgy about that. In terms of like...
There isn't. You can go online and you can read all of the paperwork if you want. If that's what you want to spend your time doing.
Yeah. Thoroughly recommend it. It was very, very entertaining.
Riveting
reading. But basically, when something goes through planning permission as well, the usual things sort of go up. So notices will go up outside of it. There will be a small amount of meetings. People of Dalton feel strongly about this, my perception is because they feel like they weren't consulted. But I think what you've got to ask yourself is that if it was any other building, would you feel so strongly about it? Why do you feel the need that things have got to be put through your door? There are plenty of buildings that have, have gone up in this area that have not had this level of scrutiny.
If you have strong feelings about any buildings being put up, then you should be keeping an eye on the local council website, because you can go to the planning meetings. And because you didn't go to the planning meetings, that is on you.
Yeah. I'm not saying, like I say, we're not denying that there's been strong feelings about it.
Yeah, clearly there has been.
But if it's met planning permission,
I'm sorry.
It's not causing like, and that's the whole thing about planning permission. It's about establishing whether it's going to cause like serious problems for neighbours, the environment, like
it's not about subjective opinion as to what the building is.
Yeah.
It's about whether it's actually going to function within that area safely, environmentally, you know.
You name it. Legally.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. And
exactly
it wouldn't have been approved if it didn't meet those stipulations.
Yeah. Part of the planning permission, which has been another issue that people have brought up, was the call to prayer.
Yes. Yeah.
So, the planning permission has actually been granted because there won't be a call to prayer. That was actually a condition to approving the planning permission, which has been honoured. Yeah. They're honouring that.
That's it.
They have to, for planning permission.
In order to get the thing bloody built. Like... Yeah. That's exactly it.
So obviously, like... So the mosque that you lived near in Leeds, and I was kind of near it. Yeah. Was it 5 times a day?
5 times a day, yeah, it's called to prayer.
And honestly, even if they were doing the call to prayer, I never heard it.
I never heard it.
Never clocked it.
Nope.
I clock the church bells more than I clocked.
Oh my gosh.
The Muslim call to prayer.
Bloody love the church bells because they go off once a week, and every time I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday. And that is the only reason why I know what day of the week it is. It's because the church bells goes up. Yeah. And they're loud. But like, I'm like, oh, you know, like when you're in Dalton and you're at home and you can hear the bells, it's like, oh, the bells are ringing. And like,
you're used to it.
You're used to it, and that's just part of the town. Yeah. So say, even for example, if there was a call to prayer...
Which there isn't.
Just to emphasise. It would, to me, just become part of the town.
No, at the end of the day, once something's been around for a long time, you get used to it, it literally won't be an issue. So the anger that's been sort of building up over this, if you would have just looked... online.
If you'd have just read
and realised it's not even happening anyway, so you're actually getting angry about something that isn't even going to happen. Yeah. You've wasted a lot of energy there.
But, I mean, that's a pretty sort of prominent theme, I would say, with this whole discussion. Is getting angry about things that may not necessarily be true.
It's things that simply do not warrant anger.
Yeah. So I think... what we're looking at next is discussing, like, people in the local area being frustrated with Islam as a whole, which to an extent I can understand as someone that doesn't... I don't like organised religion. I've never been a fan of religion.
That goes for any organised religion, and I'm the same. Yeah. Literally any organised faith, I don't fuck with. It's not for me.
It's not for me. However, what I will say, and I think I probably would say that I speak for you and I on this, is that whilst I don't, like organised religion, I somehow dislike even more when people are prohibited from expressing themselves in any way, shape or form. So I get incredibly frustrated by the fact that people feel like that it's okay to tell people who they can and can't worship. You have a right to worship whoever the hell you want, or not worship whoever the hell you want, and you shouldn't be persecuted for it either way.
Yeah. As someone, that lives in a country where you have human rights and freedoms, you should have the freedom to, take part in whatever faith that you see fit for yourself. Yeah. I will defend the right for people to do that until I'm blue in the face.
Literally, whether that's being a Christian, being a Muslim, being Jewish, being a fucking Jedi, because that's recognised as a religion, and you go be a Jedi. If that's what you want to fucking do, you go for it,
Fill your boots, mate.
Yeah, you go for it. Like, I don't give a shit. You just do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
But I think to kind of really highlight the frustrations. I say the frustrations, it's more than frustration. The blatant ignorance, I would say, that surrounds this particular religion. I want to read a comment that, again, is on the internet. You can find it. I just want to read this out. So
before you read this out, there is another slur in this.
Yes.
Just so you know.
And it's not me saying it. Somebody else has actually said this and put this on the internet and put this out there.
Yeah.
So, the comment says, you have never worked or stayed in their countries. You don't understand their everyday speech about it. Homos would be killed straight off. Is that okay with you? Women have zero rights and not allowed education. Not allowed to go anywhere except with a male. Even a 4-year-old male is considered an acceptable leader for their own mother. Is all this okay with you? If it is, and this is just a small, tiny list of things these animals want, then you are a nutjob and need serious mental help. What do you think of that?
Jesus wept. Right. There is so much to pick apart there.
There's a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah. Okay. Can I just remind us that comment is a reaction to a small prayer centre?
Yeah, a small prayer centre. It is. It's a small prayer centre.
Those comments are talking about, like extreme, or should we say very, very devout Muslim faiths in a country where that is very established.
Yeah.
Okay?
That does not fly here.
It is completely taking the Muslim faith that you would see here completely out of context and extreme.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to point out the difference between Muslims, sort of, if you will, for want of a better phrase, your everyday Muslim.
Your everyday Muslim, yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to either Islamic extremists or incredibly devout people of that faith in a different country. Those comments have been made based on an idea of what the Muslim faith is. It is a bastardisation of what Islam is.
Yeah.
Because the way that... So, events that have happened in this country, which are examples of Islamic terrorism, so, you know, you're referring to sort of misogyny, women not being able to go anywhere without men.
Yeah.
That's not something that you'll see your average Muslim person necessarily doing and following.
I'm not saying, by the way, that it would never happen in this country. What I'm saying is, as well, I think of what you're saying is that if it did happen in this country, there is a legal route to go down because it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
From a legal standpoint.
The laws and regulations of this country don't allow for anything like that to be implemented where that becomes the norm.
Yes.
So you're acting as though an Islamic prayer centre in this area now means that we will be living under Muslim rule. That is the most ridiculous and hysterical opinion that you could possibly have made about a small prayer centre for local Muslim people to use out of this situation. I'm completely confused as to how you've got there, in all honesty, because you're looking at extremism.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a normal person. People.
They're talking about extremism, and we're talking about just having people go to a community centre so they can link up and, you know, get to know each other's families. Like, I
don't know how you've got there.
It's worlds apart.
Worlds apart.
On a different point, I find it absolutely amazing. I love that this is just one sentence. Homos would be killed straight off. Is that okay with you? We are suddenly concerned about the LGBTQ plus community while simultaneously referring to them as in a slur. Like as
using a slur. Yeah, we don't call gay people that.
We don't call them that. I find it absolutely amazing.
Gay people might call themselves that. That's up to them, babe. Yeah. That's not for you.
Yeah. The level of irony is just... Alanis Morissette would sing about it. She would. That'd be another verse.
Yeah. I also do find it ironic that this person is called other people nutjobs that need serious mental help. I would suggest mental help for this person simply because the conclusions that you are drawing based on what's actually happening here, are so far apart that I'm almost baffled by how you've even linked them. I really am.
To be honest, if I would just like to see a small 4-year-old Muslim boy become the king of Dalton, and you know what, when that happens, I'll eat my own hat.
Yeah, fair.
Fair enough. You know what, the hysteria was warranted, but until that happens...
This opinion is crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
It's fucking ludicrous.
And it is. It's so based in nothing. I mean, I think what a lot of people need to understand is the way that the Islamic faith is practiced here.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say the majority of Muslim people here, the way that they practice their faith, has absolutely fuck all to do with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to go through some stats on this, actually.
Yeah.
So, the Islamic faith, when you look at it, is actually a little bit like, in the same vein as Christianity, it's quite a peaceful religion. And they do have, like, principles, like core principles, that actually probably align with some of your own core principles.
Christians have commandments, Muslims have pillars of faith.
Yeah. So there's 5 pillars of faith, and one in particular, which I thought might just be interesting for people that don't know anything about Islam. It might be interesting for you to hear. One of the pillars of faith is called zakat. Now, this is essentially a principle where Muslim people are required to pay a certain percentage of their personal income to charitable causes.
Yeah.
To improve their societies. And it is something that a lot of British Muslims take very seriously. So we do have actual statistics on this. 56% of Muslims will honour that.
Yeah.
And we did some digging on this because we found this very interesting. As it turns out, Muslims make up 6% of the population in the UK. It's a very, very small percentage.
Yeah.
However, so when you're looking at the total amount of charitable donations that are made across the UK in 1 year, 10 to 12% of those donations are made by Muslim people. They contribute more to charitable cases. For example, I think we looked at a few sort of categories of charitable donation.
Yeah.
So a few of which were humanitarian emergencies, poverty and homelessness.
All really important things that people do give a shit about in this country.
Things that we really suffer with.
Yes.
In this country. So British Muslims gave more than any other sort of group of people.
Yeah.
So in terms of humanitarian services, 29% of British Muslims versus 12% of British people.
Yeah.
Of other British people, I should say. 29% of British Muslims gave to poverty.
Yeah.
Again, as opposed to 12% of other Brits. And 25% of Muslims gave money towards homelessness versus 12% of Brits. So this is something that is very much ingrained in their culture. They're very society orientated. They want to make society a better place.
Yeah.
They contribute. They actually statistically contribute more than any other group of people do. 4
times more than the average person.
Yeah. So please don't tell me that these are evil people. We're letting them congregate in one area so that they can plot against you. That is not what is happening. That is a really wild and unfounded conspiracy theory.
These are people that want to participate in society, that give charitably to society.
And especially when we're talking about the local area, they contribute so much to our local area. Like we were saying before, we are looking at engineers, we're looking at business people, we're looking at doctors and nurses in the NHS.
GPs,
people that
teachers,
you need. Yeah. People that you actively need that will probably save you or a family member at some point, and you are demonising them and alienating them. Don't forget that these are real people, normal working people that contribute to this area, and they are reading these heinous fucking comments about them online from you.
Yeah.
From other people in our local area who are embarrassing our local area, by the way.
Embarrassing me.
Yeah, like, I feel fucking embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed and ashamed that people from this area would take some of these views.
Yeah.
Like,
it's astounding, and they're probably reading these comments and you are making them feel unwelcome and unsafe, even though they've lived, like it literally says on the website for the masjid, lived, worked and contributed to this local area for 40 years. And this is how you are making your neighbours feel. They are your neighbours.
Yeah. They are part of this community.
So get a little handle on your humanity, please. Because you are embarrassing us. At the end of the day, I'm proud of this area, and I'm sure you are as well.
Of course I am.
I'm proud to come from here. You know, I've never tried to hide my accent whenever I moved away or anything like that. I'm proud of where I come from.
You know, we're two people that have moved away from this area and have moved back.
Yeah, because we do love it here. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
The people, you know, as far as my experience goes, and it's probably because I'm white, has been nothing but lovely. You know, okay, yes, there's a few bad apples, but there is in every bloody area.
Yeah.
And my experience in this area is friendliness. People say morning to me on the street.
It's warmth, isn't it? And it's caring.
Yeah, it's northern charm.
Yeah.
And I missed it when I wasn't here, and that's why I came back. So to see this reaction to people who are also your local neighbours, who are also part of your community, to see your reaction to them in the way that you're speaking about them is heartbreaking, it's disappointing, and it's frankly disgusting, and you are letting me and the next generation of us down.
Yeah.
Massively.
On that point, we can't talk about this topic without touching on the protest. I know we mentioned it earlier, and that after particularly the second protest, I think it was the second, I don't know how many there's been, but I think this is the second one that has gained a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Particularly after that, it's really amped up as the, I guess, feeling of discontent within the local community.
Yeah.
A comment, we've got two here actually. The first comment that, in relation to the protests that we've seen.
Yeah.
So, 70,000 signatures on a petition against it. The 0.4% population of Muslims do not warrant a mega mosque. The next thing will be houses, halal shops and Sharia law. People getting radicalised and all the other evil that comes with that cult.
Wow.
I mean, we could sit here and pick that one apart, but I feel like
there's a couple of things that I will mention on it.
Okay.
The petition that this person is referring to is a Britain First petition.
Yeah.
Britain First is a Nazi group.
It's fascism.
It's complete fascism.
It's modern fascism.
It is. They're Nazis.
Yeah.
I don't see that as a point of pride.
No.
And if you do, you are concerning as a person.
Yeah.
As for the mega mosque, we've already established that it isn't. It's not a mega mosque, and so
it's not even a mosque.
It's not even a mosque.
It's not even a mosque.
It's a masjid. So when they say the next thing will be houses, halal shops, and Sharia, what do you mean by houses? What do we mean by that? Because the people that are going to be using the masjid will they already live here, so chill out.
No, but there'll be halal houses, whatever the fuck that
What
means.
does that mean, bro?
But this is what I mean, and it's just it's
halal
hysteria.
shops. I mean, if you're talking about a kebab, we've already got those.
I hate to say it, but you've probably eaten somewhere halal
on a Saturday
night and not even bloody realised it.
And you're not blinked an eye, and do you know what?
Didn't kill you.
Does it matter?
No.
Chill out. Don't get me wrong, if you've got an issue with like the way that halal is done, then that's a different scenario.
Yeah.
Be a vegetarian, because there's not really any way of eating meat that's ethical anyway. But that's a completely different
I think, if we're going to get onto that topic, I don't think you can really stand there as a meat eater and say that halal's cruel whilst
scranning meat. That's mass produced and the animals are tortured, but there we go.
And that's coming, by the way, from somebody who fucking loves meat.
Yeah, we both do.
Yeah.
We're both big meat scrunners, so...
Well, you're an ex-veggie as well, so
I am,
like...
yeah. I was raised vegetarian.
So, like... I just feel like you can't really get on your high horse about halal if you're also a meat eater. Fair enough if you're a veggie, like, because... Yeah.
Yeah, there's a sound argument there.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely there is. As for Sharia law, that's not something that can happen here.
I don't know. People love to say that Sharia laws come in.
Do they even know what Sharia law is? That would be my first question for somebody that's shouting about it.
No.
No, I'm going to say that no, you don't know what that is. It's also not something that would happen here just because there's been a prayer centre built.
Well, clearly, I'm not being funny. If there's this much kick-off about a prayer centre, can you imagine anything more than this?
No.
That's what I'm meaning.
No, babe.
I do have full belief, though, that once this is built, this will calm down. I'm hoping.
Oh, I do.
I'm genuinely really hoping.
I think people are shouting because it is fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Once they're used to it, I imagine things will calm down when they realise it's literally just a community centre for people.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you have deeply embarrassed yourself and the rest of us.
Yeah.
So.
There was another comment here that was talking about, like, the protests and stuff. This is, I would say, a lot more deeply worrying than the previous comment.
Yeah.
So, someone wrote, someone with writing skills should put up a big banner saying Muslim mosque being built on a pig farm. Maybe the vile creatures that own the land now don't know that.
Jesus Christ.
Lots of stuff going on there. I find comments like this just so incredibly wild because it is using things... It's using very base, stereotypical knowledge in order to make an Islamophobic point. Well, and then referring to them as vile creatures, it's so dehumanising. It's so othering. It's disgusting.
It is... The sole purpose of a comment like that is simply to alienate and demonise that group of people.
Yeah.
That is racism.
Yeah.
That is what racism is. I
completely, fully take the point, by the way. See, this is the thing. It's been very hard, like, to have this conversation, which is why we've recorded this episode twice. It's been hard to have this conversation in a balanced way without getting emotional and...
angry.
Because it's very hard to look at this in a balanced way, because to me, and probably to you, Shan, there is no balanced way of looking at this. There are people who are trying to welcome a group into the community and want to support that, and then you've got other people that see them as, and I quote, vile creatures.
Yeah.
Like, and how on earth can you have balanced commentary on
that kind of language, the way that you're looking at these... They are people.
Yeah.
They are just people.
That's
trying to live their lives, that's it.
So, I'd find it amazing as well. Again, the irony is not lost on me. The fact that they've written someone with writing skills.
Yeah, wow.
I don't think it's that person who's written that comment.
Yeah. That would be you then.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's deeply upsetting that this is a part of our community that is not reflecting what Cumbria actually is. Whether you like it or not, we are a modern and we are a diversifying county.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
I like it. I think it's
like it.
Bloody time.
I do. I think it makes people better rounded people. Yeah. When they understand and embrace other cultures. I'm not saying that you have to take it on and convert. I'm just saying that you need to be way more tolerant than you are.
Yeah.
And understanding and learn about these things so that you can respect and appreciate how other people are different to you and you can live alongside them peacefully. There is no need for you to reject something so harshly and something that you've not actually even really researched or understand. And your immediate reaction is pushback. violence.
I would really genuinely like to know how many of these people who have commented these very negative is such a
disgusting
you know, it's disgusting. Like some of these disgusting comments, I would like to know how many of these people have spoken to the Muslims and Muslim families in their community.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, I find it incredibly shocking that this is the kind of stuff that people are comfortable with putting out on the internet.
Yeah.
For anyone, including us,
with especially their names
us,
on.
Yeah, with their names on to read.
Yeah.
I find
so emboldened to say things like that about other people. It's
but that's what I mean. Like,
terrifying.
Is it because there is a lack of accountability here? Like,
yeah, I think that the people like this feel safe in numbers, and because unfortunately there is quite a number of people being like this, they feel justified and safe to do so.
Yeah.
That truly is quite worrying.
Yeah.
That you are so comfortable demonising and verbally attacking people who haven't done anything to you.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
I think
and I understand where the argument of freedom of speech will then come in, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you know, you might argue, well, you know, that is my right as a person to have freedom of speech. Absolutely it is. I mean, this is why me and Beth are able to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Because we have freedom of speech. However, what I must stress to you, to anybody, you have a right to freedom of speech. You do not have a right to hate speech.
Or freedom from consequence.
No, you don't.
So, it's that old age-old saying, if you live by the sword, you'll die by the sword. But also, I feel like whenever we are having a conversation about things on the podcast, I like to make sure that it is always something that I can back up.
Yeah.
Or I will absolutely stand by when I say something.
Yeah.
And I'm sure these people will absolutely stand by what they say, but
you can't back it up in any way.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, we've sat here and done the research.
Yeah.
There's nothing that these people are saying that can be backed up. Genuinely, there isn't.
No. Unless, like, they do just take the opinion that, well, I don't know, maybe they are just blatantly racist and Islamophobic. But a lot of the time, it's sort of prefaced these comments by, it's not racist to say.
Yeah.
You can't just say that.
I'm not racist, but...
Yeah, I'm not racist, but... You can't just say that, and it's like, it's not a get out of jail free card. Like,
yeah.
If you say that and then go on to say something racist or Islamophobic, that still makes you racist or Islamophobic. Or both.
Yes.
Because it does go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Whilst we're still on the topic of protests, lots of visuals from the first protest, which I found interesting. I want to talk about flags.
There's a lot of flag waving.
A lot of flag waving. We love a flag. Lots of Union Jack flags, right? Nothing wrong with that, right?
It's a Union Jack.
It's a Union Jack. So, I want to kind of get into why it may not be okay. Not that it's not okay to ever wave a Union Jack, because it is okay to wave a Union Jack.
It's what is it? GB's flag in it? No.
United Kingdom.
United Kingdom's flag. I've lost my mind.
But say you're at a protest against a mosque, right? Or what you think is a mosque. It's a prayer centre. And you're waving a Union Jack. You might say it's about being patriotic or defending British values, right? But you've got to be honest. In that context, it's doing something else entirely.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you are completely negating the fact that Muslims are part of that flag.
And
because they are part of Britain.
Yeah. And you're using, like, the national flag, which our national flag, to say Muslims aren't welcome here. That's what you're doing in that context.
Yeah.
It stops being about pride and it starts being about excluding a group of people. It's basically saying this is our country and you don't belong, which is mad considering that Islam is part of British life.
Yeah.
As we've touched on before, they are part of our community, they are part of this community.
Yeah.
You know, and even if they didn't contribute anything to our community, I'll still fight the corner that they have a right and a place. They should have a place to worship and pray and...
Because they're human beings.
Because and to be connected as a community, yeah, because they're humans.
Yeah.
So waving the Union Jack, a protest against what you think is a mega mosque being built, is like taking something that's meant to stand for everything in the UK, like all races, all religions, and twisting it into a symbol of division. It's not about loving your country, it's about gatekeeping, about who gets to be part of it.
Yeah.
And
that is actually, I hate to break it to you, very unpatriotic.
Yeah.
So
Muslims are welcome here, they are part of this country, they are part of this community.
Yeah.
And I don't particularly want the flag that I live under to be used as, I guess, weaponised against them.
Yeah, because that is a bastardisation of the flag. I'm sorry, but it is.
It is.
There was another flag, which was a lot more concerning.
Yeah. I think the Union Jack discourse is a lot more... It's about context, is that, but this flag...
Yeah.
This flag...
This flag is blatant.
This flag is blatant.
Yeah. Somebody was waving a Knights Templar flag.
Yes.
Right. Well, okay. We'll do a little history lesson.
A mini one.
We love it. Mini one.
We love it.
Yeah. So, okay. If you don't know, then, right. The Knights Templar were a Christian military order that were active during the Crusades, right? So this is when European Christians went to war in the Middle East, often against, pretty much primarily against Muslims.
And we say war, but we mean just straight up wiping them out, like...
Yeah, it was a genocide.
Yeah, it was colonisation, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then over time, that symbol that was waved on that flag...
Yeah.
It's been adopted by far-right groups and anti-Islamic groups as a way to basically send a message of, like, Christian dominance and opposition to Islam. So that flag is far more hostile and the message is, like, a lot clearer than, like, waving a Union Jack flag.
Yeah.
It is out and out basically a promise of violence.
Yeah. I mean, like, at best... It's inappropriate because it shows ignorance.
Yeah, like if you didn't understand what that flag was and you're carrying it, I mean, that's a choice if you didn't.
I find that amazing. If you don't.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Then, okay, you're ignorant.
Yeah.
At best. This is best case scenario.
Yeah.
This is us giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
At worst, this is absolutely heinous. It's completely racist.
Yeah.
It is absolutely Islamophobic. That is literally the pinnacle flag of religious hatred, and it is absolutely meant to intimidate and threaten what we know to be a peaceful Muslim community.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable behaviour in a modern society.
I'm not even sure how, in some ways, it was allowed, because it's so insightful. Like you say, it's insightful, potentially, of violence.
Of course
it's very, it's almost like hate speech. It's like a cross between hate speech and inciting violence. But because it falls into neither camp, I wonder why that meant that, nothing was, I guess, done.
I honestly don't know.
On the day, or maybe there was, but I wasn't there and I didn't see the footage. I just saw that there were flags, Knights Templar flags, being...
Yeah, we'd seen a video of it being waved.
Yeah. Which I just... Like, how... What goes through your head? I mean, I know what goes through the head, but, like, I can never be in a headspace where I think that is appropriate.
No.
In some ways, it is like flying a certain fascist flag to another very prominent religious group.
Yep.
And I'm sure you can connect the dots of what I'm saying there.
Yeah. It is.
It is exactly that.
It is.
However old it might be, the Crusades.
The message is still there.
Yeah, exactly.
The meaning is still very clear.
It very much is.
Okay, so, like, to kind of underpin the whole thing, there's a lot of misinformation, as we kind of brought up. There's been a lot of misinformation.
There has.
And so we have to look at why Islamophobia occurs.
Yeah. So, oh gosh. This particular comment that I'm about to read, I'm really sorry I'm about to read it.
Yeah, it's pretty heinous, like.
I am gonna absolutely pick this to bits, but I need people to hear and understand. Like, to me, this is like the pinnacle comment that kind of sums everything up as to why this is such an issue.
Yeah, why people are behaving the way that they are.
Yeah. So, somebody commented, again, online, on the internet, you can find it. I'm not racist. It's about beliefs and culture. There is no place for Islam in this country. Mosques all over the country are being funded by terrorist organisations, preaching hate and death to non-Muslims, and we all know what their beliefs are when it comes to women and young girls. Go take a walk out in Barrow and speak to some of the young girls. Sit and observe what is actually happening in our town with the invasion of young men sexually harassing and abusing our young girls. You might not give a shit about our women and girls, but I do. I have kids and I will fight for their future and the future of English culture and beliefs. Everything English is being eroded and not by accident. When I go to other countries, I respect that country's beliefs and culture while I'm there. Simple. Now, I want to break this down. Because there is a fuckload going on here.
Yeah.
Right. Claiming that there's no place for Islam in this country. This is textbook religious discrimination. Islam is a religion, not a race, but saying that there's no place for it in the UK is excluding an entire group of people based on their faith. Since the majority of British Muslims are also people of colour, it crosses into radicalised Islamophobia, treating them as outsiders who don't belong because of who they are. They repeat false and harmful stereotypes. So mosques are being funded by terrorist organisations preaching hate and death. It's baseless conspiracy theory. It paints all mosques and all Muslims as extremists. It's not only untrue but dangerous. It stokes fear, reinforces hate, and has led to real-world violence against innocent people. These are sweeping generalisations and are a form of hate speech. So by saying this on the internet, you are not slick. Like, that is hate speech.
Yeah. I'm afraid it is. It's such a sweeping generalisation.
Yeah.
That it's actually baffling.
It's almost laughable.
It is actually. It is.
The person commenting also associates Muslims with sexual abuse, so young men sexually harassing and abusing our young girls. This is a deeply racist dog whistle. It echoes harmful tropes that have been used historically to demonise minority groups, including far-right propaganda. Suggesting that Muslims or Muslim men are uniquely dangerous to women is not only false, it's deliberately inflammatory. It turns real concerns about women's safety into a racist narrative.
So we've actually done a bit of research on this.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know, realistically, how factually, statistically, how true is this?
Yeah.
So me and Beth did quite a lot of digging on this to see what we could find. Everything that I'm about to say is absolutely true. It has come from the Office of National Statistics, the Home Office, or the government directly.
Like the government website.
Yeah. 85% of child abusers are white male.
Yeah.
I'll just say it again.
Yeah.
85% of child abusers are white male. That reflects the population of this country, obviously.
Yeah.
But the vast, vast majority of them are white and male.
Yeah.
So let's not start demonising an entire group of people when it's categorically not true. There is absolutely no evidence, and I mean this, we combed the website. I've spent hours on the Office of National Statistics. There is absolutely no evidence from Office of National Statistics and the Home Office to suggest that there's a disproportionately high rate of convicted Muslim sex offenders sort of in comparison with the rest of the population. Because whether you want to argue this or not, it's not recorded like that.
No, it isn't.
They do not record statistics that way. So when people are giving you percentages and stuff, I would strongly advise you, where the fuck are they getting it from?
Yeah.
Because there's genuinely no evidence anywhere for that.
The stats that we've managed to obtain regarding white male sexual abusers have come from, I think, is it prisons?
Yeah, so the vast majority of sex offenders in prisons are white males because it reflects the population. So it's not that they record absolutely every characteristic about a sex offender. They don't do that. No. But the vast majority, obviously, that are in prison that have been convicted are white male. Yeah. So yeah, this is honestly, it's a deeply racist trope, and it is because of sensationalist. Do you know what? I'm just going to say it. Sensationalist rags like the Daily Mail and other far right media. Yeah. Which they are right wing media, whether you like it or not. Because they've sensationalised stories about, you know, brown and black people that have committed, you know, heinous crimes. Yeah. They are so highlighted over the lots and lots and lots of other crimes committed by white people. You've seen this disproportionate. Yeah. Like,
you've seen disproportionate reporting rather than disproportionate
actual figures.
Crimes.
Actual crimes. Yeah. So I would be far more if you know people are speaking about, you know, I'm concerned about our girls and women, you might not be. No, we're concerned. We're concerned. But the actual threat is coming from, if you're going to look at it statistically, white men. Yeah. I'm sorry, but those are the actual facts. I'm not just saying that. No. That's not a personal belief. That's an actual statistic.
I'll tell you what is personal, though. Every time I've been harassed, groped, assaulted, it's been a white man.
Yeah. Same.
It's been a white man.
Yeah.
So, take from that what you will.
I'm not saying that there aren't Muslim people that haven't done that.
Absolutely not.
Or like Muslims, you know, I'm not saying that every single Muslim that you come across, or every single brown person that you come across, or every single black person that you come across is going to be a saint. No. That's not the way people work.
But it's not to say that, like, they're not a saint because of their skin colour or their religious
They are not beliefs. More of a threat to you than anybody else in this country. Yeah. They're not.
That's it. Going back to the original comment, this person turned around and said English culture is being eroded, which is a white nationalist talking point. It assumes there is one fixed version of English culture, which is white, Christian and non-Muslim, and frames multiculturalism as a threat. This idea fuels racism because it implies that people who are Muslim or from immigrant backgrounds can't truly be British, and they can. And again, I want to go back to, like, my final point on this, which this person had turned around and said, or pretended, it's not racist by saying I'm not racist. So, I'm not racist, it's about beliefs and culture. Classic move. Classic move. We love it. We love to see it. You can't just say I'm not racist and then make racist statements. It doesn't work like that. Racism isn't just slurs, it's about discrimination, dehumanisation and exclusion, which this comment absolutely does. I mean, to kind of round it out, you can care about women's safety, community cohesion and or cultural identity without blaming an entire religion or ethnicity. But this comment in particular does not do that. It scapegoats Muslims and spreads harmful stereotypes and calls for exclusion, and that is why it is racist.
100%. It is scaremongering against a specific group of people, and what has been said is an outright lie.
Yeah. It's... I think on that topic as well, I want to talk about how racism links to Islamophobia, because we've been saying this all the way through, that it's racist. And you will have, and in fact actually I've seen it with my own eyes, because I've seen people I know comment this. Islam's not a race, can't be racist because Islam's not a race.
Right, we're well aware of that.
Yeah, of course we're aware of that.
Islam is a religion.
Yeah. But
a race of people would be Asian, for example.
Yes. Islamophobia isn't just about religion, though. It never has been.
No.
It's also about race. It's intrinsically linked to race. People often group Muslims together based on how they look, like their skin colour, what they're wearing, or their name, and then just treat them differently because of it.
Yeah.
Even though Islam is a religion, yes, the hate people get for being Muslim is often mixed in with racism. It's not just, I don't agree with your beliefs. It's more like, I'm making assumptions about you because of how you look or where I think you're from.
Yeah.
Which is inherently fucking racist.
Yeah, because let's face up to the fact, a lot of comments that are made when people have beef with somebody being Muslim, a major comment that's always made is go back to where you came from.
Yeah.
Right, that's racist. Because you're now talking about nationality and race.
Yeah, why don't you go live in Pakistan? Because that's where, that's where you're from.
Yeah, you've made a wild assumption.
Yeah.
You might be speaking to somebody who was born here.
And probably 9 times out of 10 you are speaking to someone who's born here. And
even if you weren't, you've actually got no idea where they're from. You've made an assumption based on usually their skin colour or their accent.
Yeah.
That is racist.
And I don't understand how people cannot see that.
I don't. It's so blatant.
Of course Islamophobia and racism is linked. It always has been. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is that there wouldn't be, I firmly believe this, there would not be as much of a hoo-ha about this prayer centre if it was for a religion that you associate predominantly with white people. I firmly believe that. I'll stick my neck out and say that 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably agree with you there.
I think to kind of round all of this out, because I think when we recorded this last, what me and Sian found is that we got very emotional and very het up and passionate about this. And I'm not saying that we haven't done this in this episode, but it's a hell of a lot more toned down than what it was.
It's a lot more structured than it was.
Yeah. I think the only advice I can really give about this is that if you're feeling the need to comment some of the comments or along the same vein as some of the comments that we've read out today, I think what you need to do is kind of take a step back and think about the fact that you are commenting this about people who actually exist, who live next to you, who are contributing to your community, who deserve a place of worship, and really question why it is you feel this way about something that ultimately doesn't really affect you. It's not for you, is the prayer centre.
Yeah.
It's for other contributing members of your community, and you can get involved if you want to.
Yeah. They've made it very clear that they are a very welcoming group of people.
Yeah.
Who are more than happy to answer any questions, more than happy to help educate and show you what it is that their faith is about. If you're finding yourself fearful because of headlines or other people's comments that look as though they might know what they're talking about because they've thrown a random statistic in there, I would implore you to do your own research, spend some actual time on it.
Yeah.
And maybe speak to somebody who is of the faith that can tell you what the actual, what their genuine standpoints, principles, beliefs are.
Yeah.
And that they actually have no desire to change your life or the way that you live your life in any way, shape or form. They're happy to live alongside you because they have.
They always have.
They've always lived alongside you. They've got no problem with the way that you are living. All they wanted was to be able to live the way that they want, i.e. they would like a place of worship, they'd like a community centre where they can do things for their children and they can provide funeral care support for their community and they can host charitable events so that they can contribute to society that they know needs help. If you are genuinely fearful of that, then I think that you've got bigger fish to fry in your own feelings and standpoints, and I think honestly that you need to take some time out and have a word with yourself, because demonising people in that way is so scary because it is so reflective of a certain period of time in our history that we are embarrassed about.
Yeah. I, just on a personal note, want to say that, like, I fully support the masjid.
I do.
I hope that when it's built, that people, all different types of people can find a community there and build really, like, strong connections, and that it serves a really positive purpose, not just for these people but for the wider community, and about educating, like, in a wider, I guess, standpoint. I would love for this to be, this outrage to be forgotten, because it will always be embarrassing to me that we had an opportunity to welcome this with open arms, and there is parts of our community that
met it with violence.
Yeah, met it with violence.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate as well, I think we've pretty much said all we need to say, but the you can donate to the masjid.
Yeah.
We'll be attaching a link to our episode.
Yeah.
And
I hope that we can do better as Cumbrians and realise that as human beings, it is our duty to make our fellow human beings feel comfortable and welcome wherever they live.
And as Daltonians, fellow Daltonians.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And on that note, I think this yapping has come to an end.
I think it has, my dear.
Okay. Well,
right.
We'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you on the next one for a bit more cheery topic, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty then.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
My claps are like fucking on point today.
Yeah, boy.
It's the cupping action.
It is. It's all about the cup.
It's the cup. Right.